Call to order the Newman City Council regular meeting of October 26, 2021. This meeting will be held in accordance with California Government Code Section 59453, Subdivision E of the Ralph M. Brown Act and the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. Given the state of emergency regarding the threat of COVID-19, this meeting will not be physically open to the public. Members of the public may participate and comment via video conferencing at https Zoom US J 96666 365 038 passcode 709573 and via teleconference by calling 669-900-6833 meeting ID 966-6636 5038 passcode 709573. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our implication this evening will go as, God, we trust in you with all our heart and lean not to our own understanding. We acknowledge you in all our ways and in all our meetings so that you will direct our path. Father, we do not rely on ourselves for effectiveness, results, for we are only human and often make mistakes. It is you who knows all things. So Father, have your divine way in this meeting. Amen.
Amen. Okay, roll call.
Okay. Councilmember Ball,
Present.
Councilmember McDonald,
Present.
Councilmember Pimentel,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Candia, and Mayor Graham. Both Mayor Graham and Mayor Pro Tem Candia have let the city staff know that they are going to be unavailable for this meeting.
Okay, I am not seeing any declarations of conflicts of interest. Item 6, I am not seeing any ceremonial matters. Item 7, items from the public, non-agenda items.
Thank you, Council Member. For any members of the public that wish to provide public comment at this time, you can do so by pressing the raised hand button under the participant tab, *9 on your phone if you're calling in, or alternatively, you can send the host a message in the chat channel and we will read your comment into the record. So I will give members of the public just an opportunity to raise their hand or send a message in the chat channel. And I am not seeing any hands raised at this time.
Okay. Item number 8, consent calendar. A, waive all readings of ordinances and resolutions except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the October 12th, 2021 meeting. D, approval of financial request from the Newman Salvation Army. E, adopt resolution number 2021, a resolution of the City Council, the City of Newman, making findings in accordance with AB 361, Government Code Section 54953E, authorizing remote teleconference meetings with the legislative bodies of the City Council.
Move that we accept the consent calendar for these dates and times.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item number 9, public hearings. I'm seeing none. Item number 10, regular business. A, adopt resolution number 2021, resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman, authorizing the city manager to enter in an agreement with the state of California for the Proposition 68 General Per Capita Grant Program and approving the filing of all application packets associated with the program.
Thank you, Councilman. I'll take this item. So in 2018, voters approved Prop 68, and as part of that proposition, a certain amount of funding was allocated as an allocation to all the cities for park improvement projects. The city of Newman filled out a survey and request and received $185,000 grant to do park improvements, either on existing parks or to acquire or build a new park. The amount of funding isn't enough to build any of the new parks that we're considering in Newman. So we decided to look at all of our existing parks and see what the need was and how best to use the funds. We did look at all the parks in Newman, and we found several items that we feel like we can take care of just during regular budget, with regular budget spending and internal workers. So Public Works can take care of some of it with the next fiscal year budget. Those were kind of minor things that could be improved. And so after looking at everything, we decided on two projects, and they're being presented to you tonight. The first one is the Sherman Park project, and it's the construction of snack bar improvements to allow triple sinks, hot water, building improvements, and the construction of a permanent shade structure and concrete slab. And that's going to be used so we can barbecue out there for soccer. We have several movie nights there every year, and we think that'll be really a good improvement for that site. We've budgeted $126,000 for that item. Part of it'll be working with the building official and our engineering office to see the best way to get some improvements on the existing building, the existing snack bar, and go through the building permit process. The second project is at the Barrington Park, and it's the replacement of the playground surfaces on both playgrounds, and with a commercial grade snap in place. The existing playground surface is a pour in place, and it's really degraded, and it just keeps getting picked out and pulled up, and under the swings it's worn out. And so we considered a couple different options, but to keep our standard of parks high, we've decided to go with the snap in place that does have a limited lifetime warranty. And if anything happens to those under normal conditions, the company will replace those tiles. They come in about a 2x2 tile, and they all snap in place. And part of the project will be removing the existing and preparing the subsurface. The second part of the Barrington Park project is to resurface and stripe the basketball courts. We replaced the fence just under our normal course of operations a couple of years ago. And now the basketball court, which is one of the most highly used basketball courts in our park system. And I was out there inspecting it, and it's got some cracks starting, and now's the time. And so we'll get the engineers over there and look at it and determine if it needs to be overlaid, or just if we can just crack seal and slurry, maybe with a little grinding, and then we'll stripe it. And so we think these are really good projects. We're also going to replace the full irrigation timers. There's 2 timers there at Barrington. That'll allow us to put a weather station, some moisture sensors, so we'll know if the park is wet, the sprinklers won't come on. If it's gonna rain's predicted. We also will include a remote access for the employees. That way they can check the irrigation a little more frequently by having a remote control instead of having to have 2 employees, one operating the clock, one out there checking the sprinklers. They can have that remote and they'll be able to go around and check each valve, make sure it's working. And so we think those improvements are really going to save the employees some time, but also really bring the park up to the next level for the community. We have a lot of events at Barrington Park as well. The item before you is to adopt a resolution because the grant does require you to authorize the city manager to enter into the agreement with the state and approve and give him authorization to submit all the applications and documents to the grant officials. We will be submitting 2 applications. Each site requires a separate application. And so we'll be working with California Consulting, our contract grant writers, and they'll help us get those applications submitted. And then we expect to get these projects done throughout the next spring and summer. And I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Catherine.
Well,
Please refresh my memory. Do we start with public comment or council?
Council
ask-
questions and comments first.
Okay. Any questions for Catherine from the council?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. One is that when we do these projects, for instance, to give you an example, when we thought about putting a swimming pool in, we know that we're going to use X amount of dollars. And in those dollars, we basically knew that we're going to have maintenance, that will come in the future. And those dollars were allocated at that time. Why is it that not these projects that are in existence now do not have funds to take care of some of these things that you're talking about?
well, these are capital improvements, and that's why the state gives us this money. We do have money allocated in the budget for some improvements, but that's through the lighting and landscape maintenance districts, and we don't get enough tax revenue from those assessment districts to be able to do these major improvements. And then we need to allocate our general funds to public safety. And so we try to save our general fund, even though I, fight the both chiefs, but we need to give our general fund for public safety. That's the most important general fund expenditure that we have in the city. And so sometimes parks gets, we don't get as much money as we could. I mean, I could spend $1 million every year on improving parks, but what we try to do is we use these grant funds that the state gives us to do these types of improvements. And we hope that we get a long period of time out of them, the park. But over years, you have to do these types of improvements, but we're just happy that the state gives us this type of funding.
And it's good that, but it's good that you're able to tap into these grants. And I'm glad that we have knowledgeable people like yourself, Kathy, to tap in and be aware of these grants. But I guess I said all this to say this, is that we need to make sure that that money is when the grants are not available, that you have that money set aside for you to make these upgrades that need to be done. And I'm hoping that, I'm just over speaking, and those, just like you said earlier, there is some funds there, but I'm hoping that we continue to make sure that money is there, because we're looking at doing another park, maybe 2 parks. And the key to it is I'm hoping that when we do authorize these projects, that we have that money set aside for the maintenance, the future maintenance of these facilities or these programs that we're thinking about doing.
Yeah, I know Mike has that on his mind and gives that a lot of thought with Lou, how we're going to fund future ongoing maintenance. And some of the grants that we get for these parks actually require us to identify where we'll be paying for those ongoing maintenance costs.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, the last thing is that I agree in reference to, and I will support, in reference to having that money allocated, because if there's any grants that we could take advantage of, I'm glad that we have yourself, Michael and Lou, that look out for the city of Newman. And I will agree in terms of let's go forward with this.
Thank you.
Hey, any other comments, council? Okay,
I would like-
yes,
I would like to approve and adopt the resolution of the authorization.
Let's have a public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry, John, if there's no other,
Oh,
comments from the council, are there any comments or questions from the public?
Any members of the public wishing to provide public comment on this item can do so at this time. You can press the raised hand button under the participant tab, *9 on your phone, or you can send the host a message in the chat channel and we will read your comment into the record. And give members of the public an opportunity to do so. And at this time, I do not see any hands raised.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I would like to approve, adopt the resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the state of California for the Proposition 68 General Per Capita Grant Program and approving and filing all applications associated with the program.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Members, in favor to approve?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item
Thank you.
10A passes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Captain.
We
Hey,
trust you.
Item 10B, approved memorandum of understanding with Stanislaus Business Alliance, also known as Opportunity Stanislaus.
Thank you, Councilman Ball. I'll take this one. So in 2017, the city did enter into a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with Stanislaus Business Alliance, also known as Opportunity Stanislaus. Opportunity Stanislaus serves as a economic development corporation that's really a partnership between private corporations, Stanislaus County, and the 9 cities within Stanislaus County. And they provide assistance with economic development activities. Some of those activities could be helping local businesses to recruit, helping cities to attract businesses. Their overall goal is to improve the economic development environment in Stanislaus County. Some of the ways they've helped our city is through in 2020, we had a COVID business assistance program where we were utilizing federal funding to provide grants to our local businesses. They helped us put that program together and to administer that program. They've allowed us recently, we started using them in job assessment. So if we're recruiting for a position, they have these programs called work keys. And so we send our applicants in there and it will evaluate, they'll take a series of tests. We generally use about 3 of them, but there's more. And it just kind of gives us an evaluation of some of their skill sets. And then lastly, they're currently, or they're just finishing up with the recruitment and screening. As you know, the council approved 4 VOLT grants. VOLT is a training program here in Stanislaus County that's a partnership with Opportunity Stanislaus, the County Office of Education and Private Industry. And what they're trying to do is it's a 8-month program. And what they do is they train persons within our county to be industrial mechanics. And so, those are pretty high paying jobs that started probably in the, low $20 an hour and go up from there once you receive journeyman status. So they're helping us right now recruit and find people for the 4 $5,000 scholarships for Newman residents at this time. So So we'd like to continue to do and support Opportunity Stanislaus. And so under this MOU, what we would be doing is supporting them through financial help. Currently, we give them $5,000 a year. They're looking at asking that to be doubled to $10,000 a year. We do, I think, see a return on that investment. We do have the business park that we just recently annexed in that 55 acres there. And once we get infrastructure there, we will need Opportunity Stanislaus help to start doing some attracting of businesses into that business park location. And they're well fit to do that. So with that, I can answer any questions that you may have. Our recommendation is that the council approve the new MOU with Stanislaus Business Alliance for 5 years at a cost of $10,000 per year.
Michael, any questions or comments by council members? Okay, seeing that, oh, go ahead. We're gonna, you have a question or a comment?
No.
Okay, we'll open it up to the public for any public comment on item 10B.
Any members of the public wishing to provide public comment on this item can do so now. Again, you can press the raised hand button under the participant tab, *9 on your phone, or you can send the host a message in the chat channel. And I'm not seeing any hands raised on this item.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I will approve. I would like to make a motion to approve memorandum of the understanding with Stanislaus Business Alliance, Opportunities Stanislaus.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Seeing none. Item 10C, approved subdivision improvement agreement with SCM Hearthstone LLC for 1035 Street project.
Thank you, council member. I'll take this one as well. So this is for project 1035 T Street. And so this is right across from Pioneer Park, which is where our skate park is, Hardin Road, Oristimba and T Street intersection there. There's a 3-acre vacant lot. In 2017, the council at that time approved a subdivision for 10 residential lots on there. They're kind of a larger lot project. Each of the lots is about 10,000 acres or 10,000 square feet, excuse me. A little bit larger lots there. So when we do a subdivision, it's pertinent that, you know, once they start those improvements, they get completed. And sometimes those improvements have to tie into existing public improvements. In this particular case, there's going to be a combination of private improvements, which are on the existing 3-acre site. They have not dedicated right away yet. So they'll build those improvements. We'll inspect them. And once the engineer determines that they've been built to an acceptable standard, we'll go ahead and allow the developer to file a final map and record that final map, and then we'll accept the improvements at that time. In the meantime, they'll also have to tie into existing right-of-way with the water and sewer and the storm drainage. They're going to have to replace some curb, gutter, and sidewalk and do some public improvements that's already in our existing right-of-way. So this subdivision improvement agreement spells out a time frame for which that developer has for constructing these improvements. It also requires them to put security in place to make sure that they don't walk away halfway through the project and the city has to complete those projects. So those will be set forth in this agreement here. There's a $163,000 financial security that they'll have to put forth, as well as an additional $81,000 security for labor in there as well. They have elected to do that through like a CD in the city's name, and they're working with our finance director to do that. They will also have to pay the city a 5% fee, and that's going to go towards engineering and inspections. That fee is $25,704. That's also under Section 3 of the improvements there. So again, these are subdivision improvement agreements are in place to protect the city. in case the developer goes belly up or some reason they cannot finish the public improvements. They put up financial security so that the city can get those done and don't have to use general fund monies to do that. So with that, I can answer any questions that you may have. It is our recommendation that the council approve a subdivision improvement agreement with SEM Hearthstone LLC for 1035 T Street.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments by council members?
Yeah, I have a question and possibly a comment. Is that I live in what is it? The SCM home, which is I guess one of their earlier developments. And I guess I brought it up the last time they were, in front of the council in reference to the quality of the home. I say that the home I'm living in is a great home. And there was some other things that took place after, the homes were completed. And I bring this up simply because I would like to make sure that, just like the city basically protect themselves, if the contractor or the developer happen to walk away, I think that something should be, put in place or in writing that the possible homeowners are protected from the quality of their homes and making sure that, after the home is built down the road, they don't have to go into court trying to get the developer to straighten out things. I think that the leadership that you guys had, were great people. I met the owners, and the developers, and they're nice talking people. I agree with a lot of stuff that they have to say, but I think that basically in the future, any developer that comes into Newman, we need to make sure that the city of Newman and its residents are protected, with some type of language that will make sure that they are not in court with lawsuits or people coming, talking about their homes, something wrong with their homes and not being taken care of.
So yeah, we have two different issues going on. So ours is for the public improvements. I think what Councilmember McDonald is, he's talking about, well, after the home is sold to the new resident, most new homes come with a warranty that they have to, go. Obviously, it's a civil matter at that particular point in time between the buyer and the seller. But it's my understanding they do come with a warranty to guarantee against most of that workmanship on there. But this one that we're talking about here is for the public improvements, and that's essentially the roads, curb gutter, sidewalks, water, sewer, and storm.
And I guess I just throw that out there, and I understand that, that is a legal matter, but I just throw it out there to put it, back up in the court of the developer to make sure that, they're doing the right thing, and just let them know that, that people, are looking at them, and basically the future owners of them homes need to make sure that they keep their eyes open and make sure they're getting what they pay for.
Any other council member comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll open up to members of the public.
Any members of the public wishing to provide public comment on this item can do so now. You can press the raised hand button under the participant tab, *9 on your phone, or alternatively, you can send the host a message in the chat channel. I do not see any hands raised for this item.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve 10C?
I would like to make a motion to approve subdivision improvement and agreement with the SCM Hearthstone LLC for 1035 T Street project.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Seeing none, item is approved. Okay, item 11 from District 5 Stanislaus County Supervisor. I don't see Chance Condit is on this evening. Do we have any members from his office?
No, they indicated to us they were not going to be in attendance tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right, item 12, items from the city manager of staff. Mr. Holland, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Councilman. Just two quick things. We only have 2 meetings left this calendar year. We will cancel the second meeting in November because that's Thanksgiving week. So we'll have the first meeting in November as well as the first meeting in December. And then lastly, just if you haven't been by, the pigeon coop is gone. It's been torn down. We have a lot of displaced pigeons in our community right now that are sure looking for a place to roost. But so we're going to probably, that demolition project will probably finish into next week. And then shortly thereafter, you'll see some more construction activity starting to occur over there. So we've been trying to work with the adjacent property owners on the other side of the alley. They have, trash and a few other things. So the developer's working with them to make sure we work with our trash people to make sure that they pick up the trash on the Main Street side instead of the alley until we can get that fence torn down and get that site secure and then reuse that alleyway again. So with that, I can answer any questions from the council.
Okay.
Michael, I have a quick question for you, Michael, and this is something that we've talked in the past about, is the Veterans Memorial. Is that still on our calendar in terms of moving forward with that site?
Yeah, so we've identified the corner of the plaza there as a potential site for a Veterans Memorial. We're continuing to look for funding sources. So I'll bring that up, and if I can't get to it, before the end of the year, we'll try to get you an update at the first of the year, just to bring you up to speed and where we're at, and then get some direction from the council.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, no other questions for Michael. We'll move on in the order of my monitor. Allie.
Evening, council members. Just touching up with you guys on the code enforcement side. Our CSO has indicated that he has seen a lot of leaf and brush out in our streets lately. Please remember that leaf and brush cleanup does start in November. So just a reminder for all of the community that's hearing and watching this meeting. Moving forward with soccer is wrapping up. I want to thank Catherine and Miss Terry and Michael for the last couple of weeks of them coming out there cooking hot dogs with us and enjoying a good old soccer day out there. Basketball signups are turning around now. We are starting basketball signups have started this week. We'll continue on to next week. It'll be a short period of signups. So any community members hearing this, please be aware our signups are starting. Wrapping up to the next thing is we are working hand in hand with the Chamber of Commerce, working together for our downtown Christmas event, which will take place the first week of December. I believe it's December 4th on a Saturday for our Christmas tree lighting this year. We are attempting to have a craft fair that night as well. So we are looking for vendors. Any vendors interested, please feel free to reach out to me or to our Chamber of Commerce down at State Farm in Michael Pastorelli's office, where they can pick up an application. With that being said, too, we are looking for sponsors and donations all over again for the economically challenged families here in Newman. For their children, we are attempting again to do a coat drive. And of course, toys if possible. So anybody interested in joining in that event or helping us out, let us know. I think I said everything. So with that, I can turn it around for any questions for you guys.
Questions or comments for Allie? Okay, thank you, Allie. Okay, Fire Chief Bowen, do you have anything for us?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just have a few things. Coming through the pipe for Stanislaus County, they're looking at doing an EMS 2-tier response system. This will integrate BLS or EMT ambulances into the system. Westside Ambulance has indicated they're not going to participate in the program, but it doesn't mean we won't see those BLS ambulances as ALS ambulances are pulled to other jurisdictions for response. Also, just want to talk, we'll be at the rivalry game this Friday. We'll have a fire engine there like we always do in the past and help with moving the chief from one side to the other, and hopefully this year will go from Gustine to Newman. So also just want to bring your attention to the Stanislaus County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan update. There will be a workshop on November 4th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, you can go to stanoes.com/LHMP.SHTM or reach out to me here at the fire station. I can give you a little more information on that. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report. I can take any questions.
All right, thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Bowen or comments? Okay, Catherine, good evening. You're up.
Thank you. So last week I was reminding everyone that we're in a drought, and this week I want to remind everyone that it's flood preparedness week this week. Surprisingly, every county in California has experienced a devastating drought in the last 20 years. So every county has experienced it at least one time in the last 20 years. There are some things you can do to be prepared for a flood, and that could be anything from localized flooding to regional flooding that affects our community. So please go to the City of Newman's website. And there's a link in there to go straight to FEMA, and it gives you a lot of good information about preparing for floods, from anything from why you should get flood insurance to what you can do around your home and how to be prepared in case a flood impacts your home. We're open bids today. We'll be doing a sidewalk project on Kern, followed by some road improvements on that road with our SB1 funds. So you'll be awarding some projects here in the coming weeks. And I'll take any questions if anybody has them.
I have a question for you, John.
Sure.
Here. Hey, how long has our clock been off in this town, in the city town clock, right there across from West Side? Those clocks aren't working correctly.
So the plaza clock?
Yeah, plaza clock.
We actually budgeted for new clocks because they were so old that we couldn't get parts for them. But I was under the impression that we have already done that. So I'll do a work order and we'll find out.
Okay, yeah, it's wrong. The time is wrong on the clocks. So, but maybe after another week they might be right. Since we got to fall back.
Maybe.
All right, thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
I have noticed that the noon alarm has been in sync for about a year now. It used to be off by 3 to 5 minutes, but it's been on.
We did budget and replace that last year, so that's good to hear.
I was pretty worried about it. Okay, thank you, Catherine. Louis, do you have anything for us tonight?
Just to get you an update on our audit, it looks like it's going as planned. I did confirm with the auditors today that they will have financial reports for us on December 1st that we can get out to you to review, and then we'll be presenting them on the first council meeting in December. We've resumed the treasurer's reports, and it seems like we're getting back to normal. Auditors are all done digging through everything, so now they're just compiling all of our reports. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Lou. Any questions of council? Okay,
I hope we can get back to chamber real soon, because it's good to see you on Facebook, but I like to touch and shake hands and especially look Michael in his face. I love it. So I'm just praying that things get back to normal so we can all meet in chamber.
I thought I read this might go as long as 2024. Is that right or wrong? Chamber.
Yes.
No, right now we're tentative. We have a big chamber upgrade going on that would allow us to live stream these meetings to the internet. We don't have that capability inside the chamber right now. We believe that will be done at the end of this calendar year or the first of next calendar year. So we're probably looking January, February for a time frame to return to the chamber. And then that would still allow us to stream live, and we don't have that capability right now. So
yeah, you're right. Sooner would be better, but we'll see.
Okay, last but not least, Police Chief Richardson, how are you this evening?
Evening, council members. I'm good. It's going to be an exciting weekend on the west side. We have the 75th rivalry game between Gustine and Orastimba. I hear that it's been voted the #1 rivalry in the state. If you can't make it out to the game to watch in person, I do understand that KCRA has picked it to be the game of the week.
Yeah.
And we'll be there. And then we'll be doing their late broadcast will be the winner and the display of the chief at the home gym of whoever does win that night. So we did our safety plan this morning with both schools and fire department and EMS out there. So we have a plan in place for the crowd. Come out, parking will be an issue to find. So get there early if you do plan on attending, so you get parking close and don't have to walk. Also, Sunday is Halloween, so drive safely. There'll be lots of little ones out in dark clothing and costumes, sure, running across the street with the sugar in their system. So be careful, drive slow, be aware of your surroundings. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? or
Go
comments?
or Stimba.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen. All right, thank you, Chief. Okay, items from city council members. Roy, you got anything for us tonight?
Other than God bless you guys, please stay safe. And you know, they had an earthquake in San Jose, a 2 point something in San Jose. And I think it was this morning or yesterday afternoon or something like that. So just be safe, you guys. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Roy. John, you got anything for us tonight?
Believe it or not, I don't have anything for tonight, so.
Okay, well, neither do I, so I will call for adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
All right, no nays. Have a good
nay.
evening. See you guys in 2 weeks.
God
Good
bless
night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, guys.